So today's class is crane container. Got this really cool model. And it is kind of a complex model. There's a lot going on. I'm sorry, my model is pattern. I hope you can see this. So it's really a wonderful thing. It's got an opening here on top, so you can put this particular one. I used this wonderful paper from Tuttle that is Japanese designs. You know, it has an opening and it sits up like that. And this is actually 8.5 by 8.5 size, traditional Japanese designs. Double-sided, it's got solid color on the other side, which is great. But I had requested if you guys can do a 10-inch. So I've got this really cool 10-inch paper that's actually duo. For this model, you don't need to have double-sided, but the color selection in here is really nice and the size is really great. So we've got some other packs of 10-inch here that work really well. So as you can see, the 8.5 by 8.5 makes one just big enough to hold a couple of truffles, or one big truffle, I guess. So if you want something larger, of course, use something larger. If you use a 12-inch, that's great. Then you could put a bunch of cookies and stuff like that in there, which is great. And it does stand on your desk or your table like that.
Yes, thank you.
Great. Color side face down. We're doing a triangle. And unfolding. And then we're going to do a seal base, which is taking this edge and bringing it to the center. I'm sorry, kite base is what I meant to say. So let me get into screen here. And the same for the other side. Go ahead and take your creasing tool and crease these lines, these folds here. Let's turn it over. And we're bringing this point in to meet the opposite point. And folding. And use your creasing tool. Turn it over. Now we're going to stretch out the paper by lifting here and bringing this outside edge to the center. And then continuing to squash it all the way down like that. And the same for the other side. And bring the top edge to the center. And then flattening that. Use your creasing tool. Now you want to open up the paper with the flaps face up like this. And let's just go ahead and swing this over, swing the points to the other side, and turn this over to the other side and fold it in half. Sorry about that. Seal base. This is a seal base. Now we're taking this flap here, swinging it over to the other side. We want to reinforce the spine here. Bring it to center. Slip your finger inside and squash fold this. Like that. Do your pre-crease by taking this edge and bringing it to the center line. And this one to the center line, like that. So you're opening these two flaps and bringing this flap up to the top. opening this, and this edge comes to meet the center, starting from the point, and making sure your paper is stretched out nicely so that you can have a nice squash fold here. And the same for the other side. Bring that flap in. And then we turn it over and repeat. So again, you take that flap, you fold it back over to the other side. Bring it to center. Slip your finger inside, squash fold this down. Take these outer edges, fold it to the center. Like that. Unfold. Bring this point up to the top point. And bring the outside edges in, starting from the top, and working your way down and nudging it into place, and then finally squashing the bottom like that. And the same for the other side. So we're going to do the pre-crease first by folding the bottom edge to the center like this, and the other bottom to the center like this. Use your creasing tool, because this is our pre-crease for the inside reverse fold. Unfold that. Unfold both of those flaps. Lift this open like this. Push your point all the way in, reversing, nudging this into a valley fold. And then squashing that into place like that, following that pre-crease. Same for the other side. Lift this up. Push this in. And go ahead and fold that down. And the next step is to get to these two sections here by taking just the top flap and flipping it over like that. Turning it over to the other side. Taking that side, the right flap, and bringing that over. Splitting your layers, so you should have two here and two here, like that. Now we're taking the wing and folding it down. Between those 2 points, it only comes down so far. So you want to bring it down to the max, which is those 2 outer points there. Nudge it into place first. Go ahead and put your fold in, and then use your creasing tool on all the layers. And then turning it over to the other side and folding that wing down. It should match the other side. Nudge it in place, fold it, use your creasing tool, like that. Okay, so now we're going to do the same. We have to get to these 2 points here. So let's take the left flap and bring it over to the right. And make sure that you split your petal fold here. Turn it over. Take this left flap and bring it over to the right. And open up your petal fold like that. Only a few more steps. So let's try this. We're going to take the petal fold and let's close it up like that, because we're going to take this outer edge of the top flap and bring it to the center. But you want to make sure that it ends on the other side of that same flap. And really try to make it come to a point at the bottom. Line's off a little bit, but that's okay. That'll be the tail because it's going to be totally tucked in. So after you put that fold into place, go ahead and take your creasing tool, fold that, and then replace the petal fold by bringing that flap over like that. Same for the other side. So let's swing that flap over. Take the top layer and bring that in. Sometimes it helps by starting your fold at the bottom tip, and then you know that you're lined up nicely. Like that. Crease it, use your creasing tool, and replace the petal fold. So now it should look like that on this side. And we're going to flip this whole thing over and repeat. So let's move that petal fold over to the left. Let's take this edge, bring it to this the other edge of that same flap, starting from the bottom, bring it all the way in, fold it, use your creasing tool, and replace that petal fold there. And the final petal fold, bring that over to the right, take this edge, bring it in, fold that, use your creasing tool, and replace the petal fold. So now that we have that, 3 more folds, 3. So we're doing our pre-crease going across the bottom here by taking one leg and bringing it up to line up with the outer edge. Give that a good crease. Unfold, take the other side, fold that up to line up with the outer edge. Use your creasing tool. Unfold. And then we're going to inside reverse fold the head and tail up by taking this flap, opening it up, bringing this up along that pre-crease. Let's nudge this into a valley fold by pinching from the point here, bringing it in, and then when you close it up, it'll squash right into place, and that will be your inside reverse fold here. Same for the other side. We're going to reach from the outside, open this up, bring this leg up all the way along that pre-crease here. Starting from the point, pinch it into a valley fold and keep pinching. And then when you close it up, you've tucked that whole flap in. And then now you're going to fold the head down. So I'm going to fold this into the head. You open it up by flattening it, push it down. And then you want to nudge the top, from the top, this into a valley fold, right down the middle like that. And then pinch it at the base, and that's your beak. That's the head of the crane. And voila! Open it up. Cool. Isn't that fun? I like it when you open the wings, it looks kind of cool. But even if you have the wings, up, it looks good too. Because the back of it, you have this wing here, so it does look like a complete wing, or, complete crane from one side to the other. That's kind of nice. You can take the wing also and fold it down at an angle if you want. It's kind of a nice look.